Good morning. I'm Donna, and welcome to my video. You're at Much Ado About Something today, and our Much Ado will be about the herb mullein. You might have saw on my last video a drive through the mountains when I left my sister's house. I had said on there that I had harvested some mullein off of the side of the road, and here it is. It was just growing right there near her house on their property. Um, was these rosette-like plants. This would be the first year of this mullein. They're biennials, and this one hasn't bloomed yet. So it would be its first year. Next year, if you let a mullein, if this were in the ground, it would send up a flower stalk about up to 7 feet from it. You probably see them on the side of the road all the time and don't even realize what they are unless you just know about mullein, unless you're interested in those things, wildflowers and herbs. Well, this is what I harvested. Now today I'll have to clean this up. You will see there's some leaves and things in it that I won't be needing, so I'll have to go through this mullein and clean it up and clip off the leaves and dry it out. The leaves on mullein is very fuzzy, soft and fuzzy. It's a wonderful plant, beautiful plant, and has a lot of good properties. But we'll be flattening that, cleaning that out and flattening that out and drying it today, or I will be. And then I'll share some uses for the mullein. I also harvested some lemon balm. My garden has come to the end out there, and there was a few sprigs of lemon balm left, so I harvested that today. And I'll tell you a little bit about the lemon balm and the mullein here as we go. I just wanted to share something with you. I wanted to remind you to do your research on each herb that you plan to use. Research it with at least 3 resources because herbs have so many qualities, and each one it just differs so much from another one. Be sure to research each herb that you're thinking about using or interested in using with at least 3 different resources, because no one source can reveal everything about an herb. And you want to use them according to your individual allergies, your medications and conditions. And the more research you do, the more complete picture you'll have of that herb. I just wanted to remind you of that today because herbs can be very strong, very powerful, and you want to know their uses and their remedies. But in the same vein, you don't want to be afraid to use them. They're wonderful, and most of them are readily available. Many of them have the same properties, so you can pick the one that's easiest for you to get, the most cost effective, or just like me going to my sister's and harvesting this one. It didn't cost anything. I was going there to visit my family anyway, and these beautiful mullein rosettes were just shining out at me as I was going on my way up there. And because I'm familiar with this plant and I've used this plant, I knew exactly what it was. They're a good size, but I tell you, it's hardy, this mullein is. So don't think you can just stop and pick and pull up a bunch of it. Take something with you to cut it off. I did get some root on this one, and the root is also valuable. You can use the leaves, the root, and the flower of a mullein. But since they're not in bloom now, I'll just be using the leaves and this root that I harvested. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of books that are available on herbs. They're so easy to research. Of course, I've got one here called Rosemary Gladstar's Herbal Recipes. I got this one for a gift. I'm not even sure where you get it, but I'm sure it would be easy to research this and find this. And I enjoy this one because she gives you good, useful recipes. You can't go wrong with Rosemary Gladstar. she also has a book for beginners. I've had these books here that I've had them for years. Um, I've just picked them up over the years in different places. It seems like when you get interested in a subject and you research it, you can find a lot of available information when you start looking. Right here's one, and it's a beginner's guide from Stephanie Torles. I think I got this one as a gift too. I got this one from Cracker Barrel last year. My husband I went with him, and he took me and went out to eat, and he said, "Here, let's just buy you a nice gift." And so this essential oils, natural remedies. I don't see an author on this, but it's from Althea Press, and I really enjoyed this one. But there are so many books. I know I follow Amy Fuel on Facebook and on YouTube, and she is in the same state that I am, so her information is just invaluable. She's excellent to follow, and she does have a book out. I don't have her book. She may have more than one, but I'll need to try to find her book, Amy Fuel. I'm looking for her book next. But this one has medicinal tea, 50 ways to brew the cure for what ails you. And you know I love making tea out of the herbs. You've saw me make tea on my previous videos. I make the goldenrod tea. I made chamomile and passion fruit, passion flower leaf tea the other night when I couldn't sleep. And that's a good thing about the lemon balm. It also helps you sleep. It can be a very common tea, but one of the differences in the lemon balm and the goldenrod is goldenrod you wouldn't want to drink that every day. And lemonrod lemon balm, you can drink that as often as you want to. It's delicious. It's good with lemon and honey. It's just really good tea. I think I got this book at Ollie's. The name of it is Handmade Beauty, Natural Recipes for Your Face, Body, and Hair by Juliet Goggin and Abby Brighton. And the photographs in this book is beautiful. Ollie's is a discount department store, and we went in there and looked, and this book was, I think it was only like $4, around $4. What a great deal. And it's got a lot of little recipes and things that you can make for gifts. You could give those for Christmas, really nice gifts that anybody in your family would enjoy. This book I've had for a very long time. I mean, I can't even tell you how long. It's Rodale's Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs, and it is a detailed resource to tell you about herbs. I've had that one for many, many years. And then here's one, the Herb Farm Cookbook, so it gives you some ideas. But once you start looking for resources on herbs, you're going to find that it's abundant. You can't go wrong when you go with those good classic, like Rosemary Gladstar. When you go with those good classic authors who have really know their stuff, that'll be good resources. And Amy Fuel, she's really good. So we'll be looking out for resources, even though I have a lot of resources and I know a lot, and I grew up using a lot, and I already have a lot. It's just one of those things that's always interesting. It's always interesting if you're interested in them, and that's a way that you've chosen is to do things all naturally and use herbs. It's great. I made a few notes here about the Mullien. The Mullien plant that I harvested. I'll be trying this, and here's just a few notes on that. The parts that we use, of course, are the leaves, flowers, and roots, and we talked about that. It makes a great oil for ear infections. Wow, right? The swimmer's ear infection oil remedy would be slightly different than just like say you have an ear infection from a cold or a virus. it would be okay to use the oil and mullein in that, uh, the mullein oil. But if you've got a swimmer's ear from having water in it, and you've got an infection from having that water in there, the treatment is slightly different, and it uses alcohol uh, instead of the oil, so that it doesn't stay in there and make that worse. So research that, and just know that. But I do use the mullein for ear infections, and add crushed garlic, and just slightly warm that up, and store it in the refrigerator. And it's really good if you have ear infections or earache. It's also good, the mullein is good for a cough formula for respiratory infections, bronchial infections, congestion, and colds. And boy, this time of the year, it's really time to be thinking about that, isn't it? There's a lot of that going around. So I'll just be drying this mullein that I have, and use it for an oil infusion and for tea. That'll be the two things that I'll use the mullein that I harvested for. And the lemon balm, I've had this lemon balm growing for years, and it's perennial. So if you ever get any lemon balm, it'll come back for you year after year if you take care of that space where you put it. So I've used lemon balm, and it's delightful. It's fragrant. It has a really good fragrance. It's in the mint family, but it's to me it looks a little bit like a mint plant, but it doesn't smell or taste anything like a mint. You really get that lemon from it, and it makes a delicious tea. Some people say the fresh tea, if you make tea from fresh leaves, that it's better than if you make the tea from dried leaves. But I like it either way. I think it's great, and it has some really good properties. It has common properties, so if you're having trouble sleeping, or if you're just needs a way to calm down, lemon balm tea, I find it really calms me. It's a good calming drink. It has calming, antiviral, antiseptic properties, and it contains volatile oils, tannins, and bitters that have a significant relaxing, calming effect on the stomach and nervous system. And it can be used as a mild sedative for insomnia. So hey, that right there will work for me today. But I wanted to share with you, since I made the video on my little short mountain drive, and I had harvested that. I wanted to film me harvesting it, but it was around 4 o'clock. It was starting to get dusk. It's November. That place there are bears up there everywhere, bear sightings often. I did not want to be out there. I wasn't carrying, so I did not want to be out there harvesting mullein and run into one of those bears moving around at dusk, trying to eat and get ready for the winter. So I just jumped out and harvested that mullein and jumped right back in the van to avoid a bear encounter. There's a lot of deer out there too. I wasn't so much worried about the deer, but yeah, the bear, I'm careful in that area. So that's the reason I didn't film me harvesting the mullein. Hopefully next year I'll be able to film the harvesting of the mullein. I wanted to share with you these amaryllis it's a beautiful fall day. In a video, I showed you me planting these amaryllis, and I wanted to show you the progress this one's already made in such a short time, and you can see how big the bloom stalk is on this bulb. It's already probably 18 inches high. But this is the progress. So by Christmas, this thing will be blooming, and I've had them every year for years and years, and it's a staple of a Christmas plant that I have in the house, and they're so beautiful. I just wanted to show you the progress of this one. Now the light colored one, it's its progress is slower. Even though I planted these at exactly the same time, you can see the difference in how some of them will grow. This one is not even, you know, it's probably 2 inches up out of its pot, but it's doing well. Its little bloom stalk is shooting up, and it'll be up in a little while. It'll be up and blooming by Christmas, I hope. And if it's after Christmas, well, that's okay too. I'll just enjoy it until the new year. Well, thank you today for joining me. As always, I'm glad that you took the time to watch this video. I hope I shared something that'll be of interest to you and that maybe you'll incorporate into your life and find out some herbs that you want to use and research them and find out how you can enhance your life by using the herbals, remedies, and ideas that have been proven, and they're so enjoyable and useful. But I'm glad that I was able to share some of the things that I like to make and use in my harvesting with you today. Until next time.